So, Trump is currently trying to take over. We're talking about as we speak. He is currently trying to take over Washington, D.C. by force. He's sending in close to 1,000 National Guard's troops, as well as federalizing local law enforcement. Now, he says he's doing this to fight crime and homelessness in the city. And his administration, they have equated Washington, D.C., the capital of this country, to a war-torn city. They have said that it is more dangerous than Baghdad. Give me a fucking break. Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, is more dangerous than Baghdad. Okay, well, this is happening right now. So let's go over a few things. Let's go over the legality of this. Let's go over what he's trying to accomplish. And let's go over the data. He says it's to combat homelessness and crime. So we'll go over the data. Now remember, he did something very similar in California when there was protests, what he called riots. Now, yes, some of these protests did get a little bit rowdy, a little bit violent. And yes, property was damaged, as a lot of the time it happens in protests. With that said, for him to federalize, because in the instance of California, he federalized a state National Guard and deployed it on the streets of LA. And now, of course, that ended up being a nothing burger pretty much, unless you have information that I don't. But let's talk about Washington, D.C., because that's happening right now as we speak. So first and foremost, he's sending in 1,000 National Guard's troops into D.C. On top of that, he is taking control of some local law enforcement agencies. So the first big question is, can he actually do this? Is this legal? And the simple answer is, drum roll, yes. Yes, he can. In fact, Washington, D.C. doesn't have a governor. It does have a mayor, but it's already under quite a bit of federal control. I mean, that is where a lot of our federal government resides. So it's already in a lot of federal control. On top of that, National Guardsmen and women are in the streets on a daily basis. They operate within the city on a daily basis. And there are federal law enforcement agencies that operate within the city on a daily basis. So in reality, there's already a lot of federal control over D.C. Now, he can increase this control under the Home Rule Act, and that is what he's using to do this. He can deploy National Guard's troops into the streets under this act. Now, he can do this for 48 hours under this act. With that said, he can increase this up to 30 days by sending special notice to some leaders in various committees in Congress. Now, he hasn't done that yet at the time of the filming of this video, which means that he has 48 hours to complete his bullshit operations. And if you ask me, I really don't know what he's trying to accomplish, and we will cover more what I think really this is all about. But he says it's to fight crime and homelessness. So let's talk about the numbers. So first, crime. Specifically violent crime, because that's really the one that matters when we're talking about combating crime. That is at a multi-decade low when it comes to Washington, D.C. We're talking over 30 years, 30-year plus low when it comes to violent crime. So when he says that the city is more dangerous than a war-torn city, than Baghdad, I mean, come on. You have crime at a 30-year low. How are you going to say that it's more dangerous than a war-torn city? And well, of course, it doesn't really matter what he says. What matters is, and this is the perception versus reality. Reality doesn't fucking matter. What matters is perception. What matters is what his base believes. And when I have posted videos on this on my various social media platforms, you get people from his base who agree with him that Washington, D.C. needs to be fixed, needs to be, the crime needs to be brought down. Do those people live in Washington, D.C.? In most instances, probably not. But what matters is perception. Now, the reality is the data. Perception is what he is going to tell his base, and they're going to eat up. Now, let's cover, in my opinion, what this is actually about. Is this actually about cleaning up Washington, D.C., ridding it of crime and homelessness? No, in my opinion, it's not. This is either one of two very serious options. Either A, this is another distraction from the Epstein list and Epstein files. And I will not stop at least mentioning it in these videos. We all need to look, the news media cycle is so short. Even alternative media, we've jumped on to the next thing. The next thing is this takeover of Washington, D.C. We cannot forget that Congress subpoenaed the DOJ to release these files. They have 2 weeks to do it. Less than 2 weeks at the time of this filming of this video. Where are the files? We need those files. We should not stop talking about those files, regardless of whether Trump is in them or not, regardless if the files is filled with Democrats or Republicans. It doesn't matter. I think everybody just wants to see which powerful people are absolutely not just fucking with us, but taking advantage of youth. I think those names should be out there, and I think people should be able to have access to the information, of course, while at the same time protecting the victims. So that's the first option to this. The second option is that he is soft launching martial law and a vanilla dictatorship, right? He is basically testing the waters to see if he can take control of a major metropolitan area of this country. That's the other option. So both of them are pretty bad, in my opinion. Now, I guess there's technically a third option, which is also very reasonable, and that is to stay in the media. Trump loves to stay in the media. I truly believe Trump thinks no publicity is bad publicity. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Trump loves to stay in the media, and he is very, very good at doing so. So could this be another attempt to keep his name in the headlines? That's also a very real possibility. Now, which one do I think it is? I genuinely, if I had to guess, or if I had to make a prediction, I think it's probably the first one. I think they are trying their best to get a handle on the Epstein and all the media relating to the Epstein files, and I think this is a major way to distract from that. That's what I think. Do I think he's soft launching a dictatorship or martial law? I've been wrong before. I would say no. Now, I tend to err on the side of caution when it comes to making blasphemous conspiracy theories. So I know a lot of people think that he is gung-ho on turning this country into a dictatorship. I don't see it necessarily. Do I think that there's going to be increased corruption in the years to come? Probably. But a full-blown dictatorship, I would like to hope that our institutions hold strong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. I'm sure some of you will tell me that I'm wrong in the comments. But I think it's the first. I think he's trying to distract from the Epstein files and their release and all the media surrounding that. And to be honest, the short media attention span plus him being good at controlling the media, it might work. I don't see anybody talking about Epstein anymore. From the mainstream media, from alternative sources of media like here and other social media platforms, I don't fucking see it. I don't see it. Now, the one other thing I want to cover in this video before we end it is Trump put out a statement telling all homeless people to leave the city. Okay, look, I've heard from his base in my comments on other social media platforms, what's the problem? This is a good thing. Why not clean up the city? Okay, I'm going to end this video with two main things. One is about the homelessness issue, okay? Homeless people, yes, a lot of it is self-inflicted, okay? Let's just be honest. Let's be blunt. But a lot of it is also not. A lot of it is circumstance. A lot of it is lack of help. A lot of it is lack of affordable housing. A lot of it is just people who are otherwise decent human beings just being down on their luck. A lot of it is just the fact that life is a struggle. Life is hard. And when you remove social safety nets, which is why I'm so against Trump removing social safety nets like healthcare for the low-income earning class and other social safety nets, food stamps. When you remove those safety nets, you end up with that population that is barely hanging on, falling off the economic ladder, and you end up with a growing homelessness population. So to treat them as a subclass or a secondary class is inhumane. It's inhumane entirely. Okay. On top of that, it is disgusting. And on top of that, to tell people who literally are the lowest income earners of the entire population to leave the city when you damn well know they don't have the means to do so is asinine. It's insane. It's inflammatory behavior, it's inflammatory rhetoric, and it's just batshit crazy. It's batshit crazy. On top of that, the second thing that I want to end this video on is that instead of making these inflammatory statements, the President of the United States should realize that even homeless people, a lot of them are American citizens. A lot of them are veterans. To treat them as something that they are not is blasphemous. We should give them help. Trump should have a much more kinder rhetoric towards these people. And in reality, we just need to help our that low-income earning class. We should be there to help them as Americans, because I know that in this country, it's pretty much like, I got mine, fuck you, right? That's kind of the mentality here in this country. That's not the right mentality. We're all Americans. We should all help each other whenever possible, and we should not look at some other class of human, whether that be homeless, whether that be a different color, a different sex. We should not look at them as anything besides what they are, which is red-blooded human beings. They are just like you and I, and we should treat them the same as you and I would like to be treated. With that said, we'll have to see how this develops. I will keep you updated as best I can. I'm sure that you're well aware at this point that this is just my Yap About Anything channel. This is anything that I think needs to be talked about, I will talk about here on this channel with my unqualified opinion. If you want my qualified opinion, that is very narrow. It deals with finance. I do have a lot of experience and education when it comes to finance, but that is for my main channel. It's just my name. We talk about world economics, finance, investing, the Federal Reserve policies, all that. That's on my main channel. Here, it's to give you my unqualified bullshit opinion on things that I think should be talked about. So if you like that, please consider subscribing. It's very difficult to grow here on YouTube. With that said, I love to do this. I love to share my perspective. And on the main channel, I love to share my actual qualified opinion. With that said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Realize that politics matter. Politics really, really matter. Whether you like it or not, politics and the people in charge matter. And it is a snowball effect in either direction. We either improve as a society or we go backward as a society. And the people who are in charge directly matter because they're the ones who get to make the laws and they are in control. And this is supposed to be a democracy, but that only works if your voice is heard and if you are heard at the ballot box, because that's the only way we change for the better. That's the only way we change for the better. With that said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.